All right, guys, welcome back to Building Legacy. My name is Devin Muniz. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Building Legacy, where we build people, businesses to make their last name mean something. So I'm also here with Cameron Warsham, who is our Chief Creative Officer, and we have some kind of big news because we finally have a little bit of clarity on what Building Legacy is not only going to be now, but going forward, what it's going to be. So we just came off of like 2 days, pretty much solid of
two.
Well,
Try
like nonstop. Yeah.
5.
Yeah. It's been a while of just trying to work through and figure out exactly the direction for Building Legacy. Like, what exactly are we doing with this? What is the purpose? What is the goal? And I think that we settled at something that is not only like cool, but something that I don't think any of us have ever seen done before. So I'll let you kind of pick it up and tell from your point of view, the creative direction of it.
Yeah. So I guess to speak a little bit about what led us to this decision, is we kind of came to a point in the businesses that we already have, and we hit a point of growth where we had to pretty much decide the paths. Like we couldn't kind of keep juggling. We had to make definite decisions, and we couldn't really take them back. And those decisions that were definite, it kind of took away from the original idea of like what started all of this, I think. I mean, at least that's how I interpret it.
It did.
A lot of our gifts as people, and I guess you could say as entrepreneurs, is that we have a lot of ideas. We want to benefit the community. We'd like to see the success of those ideas taking place in the real world. There's tons of other things. Like, we also like to teach people, which is a whole part of the creative direction now going forward.
Right.
But basically, we decided on making multiple businesses and bringing the viewer in every single step, or as deep as they can come.
Yeah, as every step that we can possibly show, we're going to show. Like, if there's stuff that's proprietary or we just can't show, we're not going to show it. But outside of that, because the biggest thing in my life, honestly, that changed my life was the internet. Like, outside of everything, I think in one of the episodes I even said, like, I'm just a modge podge of internet information. And most people are, but most people, I feel like, get great information from the Alex Hormozis, the John Bilyeu's, the Joe Rogans, the Jockos, the whoever it is, Kylie Jenner, like whoever it is that you're following, but then they don't know how to apply it because there's such a large gap between where most people are and where the person is that you are following. We want to bridge that gap because we feel like we're somewhat in the middle. We are successful on like a macro level, but we've seen enough success in like starting multi-million-dollar businesses, you know, getting healthy, doing some endurance feats, all these little things that are like small successes in the grand scheme of things, but it shows some proof of concept. And we just want to do that on a bigger scale. Like, okay, now we've seen it work a little bit. Now let us be the vessel to vet out all the information that you're getting from the internet.
Yeah.
When you see Andy Elliott telling you how to sell, well, now you're going to get to see us apply it in real world situations, in real businesses. Use those tactics, use that information. Did it work? Yes. Okay, here you go.
Thoughts
Did it
and
not
opinions
work?
on it?
Right. Nope, that didn't work. But this thing that Alex Hormozi said, we changed it up a little bit. We added that, we added this. And then every single week, all of the Building Legacy team is going to sit down and do an episode where we deep dive on not only what worked, what didn't work, but like our thought processes, the sources of the information, where we're pulling stuff from, so that it's truly like you get to see it in action and then apply it for yourself.
And you can also see all the pieces that it took to make that thing happen, rather than seeing, some guru say, "Oh, we did X, Y, Z, and blah, 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 blah."
How?
And, well, how do you do that? How many people do you have?
Right.
How expensive are those people? Like, how valuable are those people? Are those people working 20 hours a day?
Right.
Like,
and if that's step 4, what was 1, 2, and 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now you can actually see the pieces of the puzzle. I think it'll be it'll be an engaging series and an engaging It'll be entertaining. It'll also be educational.
If
And I
applied
think-
correctly, it should be impactful as hell. Like,
And I think across the pillars, like the pillars of building legacy, it could be revolutionary for a person's life. Because
Yeah.
you come for the business, well, you might stay for another pillar or something like that. That could open the doors to a lot of different things for like, I don't want to say like events, but we could host running events or something like that. Or,
it opens the door because now the only focus of building legacy is to build businesses and help build people so that they can make their last name mean something. Like that is, it opens all the aspects of the things that we are already working on behind the scenes that we haven't really got to show other people, but that we know when people get close to us, it's impactful. Like there's people that work here whose lives are changed by just seeing things that we do on a daily basis or how we operate or handle ourselves or whatever, but nobody else gets to see that. Like unless you're in the building, you're not really getting to see that stuff. And we don't have it all figured out. Like we're also learning, but if you're sitting next to me and seeing, okay, well, that's who he's learning like how to do a little bit better in hybrid athletics and why he's seeing a little bit better success. Oh, because he's watching Nick Bear do it.
I just thought
and he's
of
learning from Nick Bear.
you know, let me see if I can. It's almost like we could almost play it like a whole big TV series, but like, lots of ideas at once here. So there's that certain employee that came to work for us, and we brought it up in one of the meetings as a reason why we wanted to do multiple businesses, because it could help multiple people, and we'd have the opportunity to help multiple people and grow those people in different situations in life or whatever, right? I wonder if in the future we could show that person, not that person specifically, but but them coming onto the team,
Right.
what they're about, like how we maybe try to help them or something like that.
Absolutely.
Not for our gain.
No. Yeah.
But I mean, maybe it's for not really for our gain, but to show that I guess what we're doing goes beyond just money, rip your face off type stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of people that obviously hate Andy Elliott because he's really polarizing, but like he's doing that because he's building a massive team of people, and he's just adding more people to the team that believe in his vision, believe in his message and what he's doing, and you're watching it transform those people's lives. Like there's people that are coming on there that get in shape for the first time in their whole lives, learn a skill, all that stuff, and it's happening. Like we're on such a micro level. But all of our real goals is to like take what we're doing micro and turn it into the macro, like of changing people's lives, creating real change, all of that stuff. And yeah, it is going to involve obviously making money. And there's parts of it that have to be like rip your freaking face off because we need money and it's dog eat dog and business or whatever. But we all look at money as a tool. Yep. And for us, it's like we know that we're good people. We know we want to make impact. We know we want to change lives. We just want to use that to amplify.
It's a measure of success as well.
Yeah, it's the scoreboard.
So, which is another big factor in if we're going to make multiple businesses, they have to, sustain themselves as well. So they have to make enough money to be successful for us to move on to the next one as well. So
yeah, and so right now, like I had said multiple times, I don't give a shit about money, which I don't. Like I only care about money because of the tool that it can be used for. Like, I don't go buy myself clothes. I don't splurge on lavish things, like none of that stuff. But I like that there's a girl that needed a house and I can give her a house for 6 months and she doesn't have to worry about it because she's in a bad situation. And like, I only have that tool because I had some money. Well, right now with where we're all currently at, like that very small amount of stuff that we're able to do, it gets amplified by like 1,000 if we just keep doing what we're doing and just wash, rinse, repeat, wash, rinse, repeat. And that's all that building legacy is like get better at it, but just wash, rinse, repeat, and just grow that and do it over and over and collect all the skills as just new tools in the belt as we go. And have the trickle down, because when we were doing this right and we were focused on changing lives and like, hey, watch us get better and hopefully you learn as we learn, because we suck right now, but we want to get better. We were getting text messages weekly, daily of like, dude, you're freaking changing my life. Like, you're making me second guess eating like crap. You're making me be a better dad. And then somehow we got a little off of that. But it's because we seen such value with the people that were here and one of the businesses that we already have and the potential and what it could do. And then some stuff happened. But now it's like, okay, well, we can just do that over and over and over again. Because it wasn't.
And it gets easier as time goes on, too, because you have more facilities to
Yeah.
do more things.
The only reason that the business stopped, or not stopped, but that we are going through the phase that we're going through, is because we realized with Easy Electronics, what we were building had insane potential in this one area. Well, then a giant jumped into our one area, like a giant company out of nowhere, as we were about to jump in there as the only player. And we just realized, like, we don't know what we don't know. Like, even if we had $20 million a day to spend, we don't have the resources, the knowledge, any of that type of stuff that they have to even play the same game as them right now. So how do you get that? By just doing. Like, so all we need to do is just continue to do. It's just a muscle, just like everything else. You just have to work it and it'll get better and it'll get better. And that's what we're going to do now. And I couldn't be more pumped about it, because what we're going to be able to do is like unlimited now. It's literally unlimited. There's no reason that if it is about building a better business or building a better person, then we can do it.
Right. Right.
We're only going to be limited by what we are actually willing to do.
I don't think it would feel, it would not feel as fulfilling unless we showed people along the way.
Yeah. We want to call our shot. Hey, this is what we're going to go do. Now watch as we do all of it, the good, the bad, the ugly, the failures, the successes. Hey, we just burnt $5,000 on a completely wrong move, but here you go. This is what it was. This is what happened. And then when we do it and it's done, being able to look back and be like, see, told you. So now the next time when we call it, you can trust some of the things that we're saying, because now we're a little bit smarter. Now we know we're a little bit better filter from all this information that we're getting. We know what's right a little bit more. We know what's wrong a little bit more.
Right.
It saves. Alex Hormozy has a video that we just watched that was like, let me save you 4 years and $4 million by just telling you all the stuff that I've learned over the last 4 years and the $4 million that I've spent. We want to do that same thing in real time and live right now as it's happening time, and let you see the magic trick as it's happened.
So let's call the shot.
Yeah. So shot number one for us is building up our marketing team. Mm-hmm. So that is taking the pieces of marketing that we already have and then bringing in new dollars to pay for that team, so that that team can be sustained outside of the one business that it's in right now, which is Easy Electronics. Pull a couple of the pieces of the marketing team out. I'm going to go out, bring in new dollars to pay for those people, so that it is off of this business's back. Now that those people are paid for, these people will be able to market for all the other businesses. Mm-hmm. Step one for our team is marketing, because we feel like the two areas that you have to have is marketing and sales. Every other business can survive if you have marketing and sales.
Right.
So if we start with those two pillars, which we know that we're pretty solid in sales, like that is my absolute strong suit. Dylan's pretty solid in sales. Like that's his not strongest suit, but it's one of his stronger suits. Marketing, your strong suit, Cassidy's strong suit. So if we already have those pieces together, it only makes sense for us to go after that.
Right.
We talked about going after the low-hanging fruit of like reviving one of my old businesses that I knew we could just bring in some quick cash. But step one, play into our strong suits, build marketing and sales. Mm-hmm. We'll sustain everything else.
Right. And it'll also give us the means to document more, create more, for building legacy, whether it's event wise, whether it's business wise, whatever. It'll let us have a little more connection to everything too.
Well,
So.
the steps that have happened with this so far, just to catch people up, because I seriously want to be beyond transparent. The business right now, Easy Electronics, which is like our most successful business right now, I have removed myself and my pay from that out of Easy Electronics and just said, hey, I'm going to go lone wolf it and I'll bring in my own money. I'll go find a way to bring money through marketing. Mm-hmm. We've found one client already that has paid us. We have like 3 for sure clients that will be generating like $3,000 to $4,000 a month consistently. The goal is to get that number up to $10,000 a month as fast as humanly possible. So step 1 of starting the new business is go sell our ass off. Like sell whatever we can. We're not putting together packages. We're not putting together like, if you give us this, we'll give you this. It's like, what do you want and what are you willing to give us? Then we will give you that. You want business cards? Cool. You want a website? Cool. You want Google Ads? Great. We'll figure it out.
Right.
Even if we don't know exactly how to do it yet, if you're willing to give us money, we will figure it out right now. So we're just going to sell, get to that 10 grand, and then we can try to start then, because we're not in the interest of scaling this marketing business. It's just bringing the dollars to let it pay for itself outside of this business so that the marketing team can just help.
And lock it in.
Yes. Help business 1, business 2, business 3, business 4, all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, the goal is by the end of this week, I want to be at 5 grand. And then by the end of next week, I want to be at 10 grand, which will be basically 3 weeks. It'll take hopefully 3 weeks to build 10 grand worth of recurring business. The best advice that I can give absolutely anybody on starting your business, whatever it is, hit the people that you know first. Get every single person in your contact list, every person on your Facebook, every person that you know owns, like for us, it's marketing. Everybody that I know owns a small business, post about, hey, who knows people that know small businesses, anybody I've already dealt with, businesses that I go to on a regular basis. Start with all those people super close to you that you can get a warm introduction from a friend or a family member or coworker, whatever it is. So much easier to close that stuff.
Yeah.
Drum up that first 5, 10, 15 grand of recurring revenue, because now you can breathe. Now you just have to go do the work. But like if you go do the work first and you don't have any money, you're drowning. Yeah. Like you can spend 2 months building your packages, building your product, figuring out how to use everything.
Right.
And then have no money and you're drowning.
Right.
If you just start with the money, then figure the rest out.
You posted on Facebook. Mm-hmm. Randomly, we had an offer come in without us even trying, just like out of the blue.
Mm-hmm. Just because we were doing it good.
In the past,
yeah, because we were doing good marketing in our other business.
Mm-hmm. Was there any other means of doing it? Because you've probably had 4 posts out right now.
So I made some posts, and I intentionally tried to make them like engaging, just like, hey, who's the best kept secrets in small businesses in Lima? Tag them below. Mm-hmm. Tag your favorite local entrepreneur below, whatever. And then I just went back through because I know people that don't have good sales and marketing are usually people that are like more skilled labor. Because, your carpenter guy is usually not the best sales guy. Your HVAC dude usually is great at his job, but doesn't like talking to people.
So what that means is the people who don't have marketing services are usually the ones who might be able, who the marketer could market best because they are skilled, like a skilled laborer. They're not just like someone who barely knows what they're doing, trying to fake it or whatever.
They're not in sales or marketing at all themselves. A car salesman, you're in sales. Like you know how to sell yourself, so you don't really care about marketing as much.
So like the diamond in the rough is like really the diamond.
Yeah.
It's like a diamond.
A developer that just is a freaking the best coder in the world, but sits at his house and he's antisocial, doesn't really like dealing with people or whatever. That dude could be the best coder in the world, but because he doesn't want to go market and sell himself, it's really hard for him to drum up his own business. Yeah. So your plumbers, your HVAC people, just all like it's rare that you find a plumber that's also a great salesperson that can just knock doors and be like, yeah, let me do your plumbing work.
Right.
Or gets to the job and is able to upsell it by himself. all that stuff. That's why general contractors exist.
Yeah.
Because general contractors are just salespeople for the skilled guys that don't have sales ability.
Do you think the business's pay structure, like the typical way that business or that industry would conduct payment, do you think that has a big sway on whether it's marketable or not?
How they conduct payment?
Yeah. So a coffee shop, right? The payment of like coffee is very small,
Oh, yeah.
low ticket. Do you think it would be harder to market for a coffee shop?
I don't know if this is right or not, but I do, because I think that the more conversions that you have to cover it,
Right.
the harder it is.
Right.
So for me, I'm trying to go after things where I know that if I get a few conversions, it's going to pay for itself.
Right.
So like first guy was HVAC guy.
Yep.
I know that the margins on HVAC are massive, and I know that he could spend $2,000 with me every single month. And if he gets one job every 2 months, it's probably going to
Okay.
pay for itself. One job every 3 months, it's probably going to pay for itself.
So it's a question of margin. Is that what you're kind of saying?
Only because of the situation that we're in right now. Like if I was wanting to build a marketing business, like an actual marketing business, I would take big and little, because you need both.
But it wouldn't. That doesn't sound cost effective. Like
I
at all,
would, as
doesn't it?
just because you don't, for instance, here at Easy, we have phones that we sell at 27% margins. And then we have phones that we sell at 7-8% margin. But those 7 and 8% add up a lot. We just have to crank way more of them. But
the
it would
marketing,
make,
the marketing that we do also sells the 27% phones. So it's probably like an average of 20% margin that we advertise for. I don't even know if you can draw that
I know what you're
connection,
saying,
but
that we have to spend money to market the 27%.
like a coffee shop could sell $2 coffee. To put it in the same metaphor, they'd also be selling French baguette egg sandwiches for $20.
Right?
So the average would come down to,
Yeah.
the average margin would come down to, I don't know, 12% or something like that.
Right. Yeah, but I don't think, are you saying that could be a problem because their margins are so slim
Yes,
that it's hard for them to even afford a marketing budget?
right.
Right.
And so
Yeah.
I'm saying this for people who are interested in starting a marketing business. Like that's where my thoughts are coming from. Because, and this is how we'll probably conduct the episodes as well, is a lot of general questions and the direction being for those who are interested in starting this type of business or a similar business, to where the questions I'd ask could benefit you.
Yeah, you're the viewer, basically. How we've framed this is like you're the person asking the questions, just the same as the person behind the screen is asking
Exactly.
the same questions.
Exactly.
Probably. Yeah.
So
And
I
I
asked
don't
that.
know. Like that's the I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I want to learn so I know more, but I can tell you what I know so far.
But your hunch, I guess,
Right.
your educated guess
Yeah.
is, because that's where I would stand too.
Yeah, I would always start with the bread and butter. Like the bread and butter, meaning the high margin, the easy sells, the low hanging fruit, however you want to frame it. Like start with that stuff. Like even Easy was built off of that stuff. We didn't start off buying absolutely everything. We didn't buy all the low end stuff. We didn't have enough money to move new inbox phones, because new inbox phones are really low margins and you have to crank them.
Yeah.
We started off moving a lot of damaged stock and lower models, and there was a point where we didn't even like buying higher, like the newer phones, because the newer phones, more expensive, lower margin. So more cash out,
Right.
not a big return on that cash. When I could spend $500, get $600 back if I bought a newer phone. So I'm only making $100 on a $500 investment. I'm only making like 20% returns.
Right.
Or I could take that same $500 and I could go buy $500 phones that sell for $220 a piece. You know what I mean? And make way bigger returns. So I think about it the same way, like starting any business. When I started my general contracting business, the first thing that I went after was kitchens and baths, because I knew that that's where the big money was, kitchens and baths.
Wow.
So I went
So
after that
maybe-
like exclusively. We knocked out bathroom after bathroom after bathroom. And then I moved on to like gutters, where there's smaller margins, but I could crank a lot of them. Like our subcontractor, he could do 2 houses a day compared to 1 house every 3-4 weeks.
So I guess that's wisdom for a marketer, is you have to be aware of the margins
Yeah.
of what you're marketing.
Yes. The company that you're going after, you need to have a good idea, because it just isn't going to make sense. Like that, if you go to the coffee shop and your packages are like $1,500 and $3,000, you know how many freaking cups of coffee they got to sell to make
Exactly.
up for that? And it's like, oh yeah, I can't do that.
It's not gonna
But I
work.
could probably pay $300 just to stay on the top of people's minds with like a simple paid ad.
Mm,
You know what I mean? Just to remind them that we're here.
that's interesting. So how would you go about finding which businesses have the best margins? First thing off my top of my head is ChatGPT, but I don't even know if that would work.
I don't know what it would say. I would say with the marketing in general, money's made in the knowledge gaps for sure. Like that's one of Dylan's favorite sayings. I think I've heard him say that probably 5 or 6 times since
He
he's
is a
been
broken
here.
record.
No, it's like a great quote, because the knowledge gap being, if you don't know sales and marketing, I can charge you almost anything. If you don't know HVAC, if your air conditioner breaks down at your house and you have no idea if it usually costs $2,000 or if it costs $10,000,
Yeah.
and the HVAC guy shows up and he's like, yeah, it'll be $9,900. You're just like, dang, okay, that sucks. You just write the check. But
Right.
he's making the money because you have no idea. But if he came to my house and I know how much it costs, I'm like, get the hell out of here. Like,
Right.
I'll pay you $4,000 because I know it's probably a $2,000 cost. But so with sales and marketing though, I'm going to go immediately where I know that they have a knowledge gap. And to me, it is skilled labor usually definitely has a knowledge gap in sales and marketing, whether it's a developer, whether it's a plumber, a HVAC person, electrician, even like a farmer. A farmer has,
Right.
how many farmers do you know that are crushing it in sales and marketing? No,
I
they're
don't
just,
even know if that's factored in.
right.
That's
But they're
interesting.
just,
I never thought about
they're very hardworking, skilled people, but that's just not things that they have developed. But that's why when you go to sell marketing to somebody that already has sales and marketing as a skill set, it's way harder.
Right.
Go try to sell your marketing to a car dealership.
Right. Yeah, it's not gonna
Not easy.
happen. That's a huge insight, actually. So let me see if I'm understanding it correctly. Why wouldn't coffee shops? Well, I guess they're still making margin on the coffee, like they're still making money off the coffee. But like, so for our one of our ideas to make a, should I say that?
What?
Make starts with a B. To make it.
Oh.
Can I say
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Okay.
Why not? Yeah.
Well, one of the future things that one of the businesses that we are interested in doing, not for sure yet or anything,
Right.
just interested.
It's
in
on
doing
the table, yeah.
Yeah, it's on the
I
table.
think we should, I honestly think that we should do like a vote. Like the
That would be
people
cool.
watching have a say so in where we go.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. After we have our foundation.
Yeah. So about the bakery, we want to do a bakery. I don't know if I've said that like 6
Nope.
times or not.
Yeah.
Okay. We want to do a bakery. Or it's on the table at least. Why couldn't we just do coffee as a loss leader?
Well, yeah,
Because it has practically zero margin on it anyway.
it can be the gas station for sure. Like the gas at the gas station.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm just thinking like with that whole patio idea, and I know I've been harping on it, but I don't even know if that's the right geographic location for that type of thing.
Right.
But baked goods and free coffee. Mm-hmm. And what if it's not trash coffee either? You know
I
what
just
mean?
was
Like,
talking to my mom about the same thing about like with the bar restaurant, why not just make bottled Bud Light only? You're a loss leader.
Right.
$1.50 all the time. Most popular beer in America. $1.50. Nobody else is selling it for $1.50, and you will still make money on it.
Jeez.
But then sell them a burger, sell them a shot, sell them whatever the hell. Sell them, oh, hey, you see you like Bud Light, but did you see this other IPA that we have on draft? Do you like IPAs where I make $3 a glass on you?
You're not going to get some fries with that?
Right?
Sweet. Have you seen our sweet potato fries?
Yeah, I think that
They're good too, by the way.
one of the biggest pieces that Hormozy has opened us up to is how to structure your offer. And like every business needs to have a lead magnet, something that brings the people, the eyes, the attention in the door, and then a core offer, why you're actually even trying to get that customer, and use the lead magnet just to draw them in to get them to the core offer. The loss leader, because that's all gas stations are. They don't make money on the gas. They make money on the chips and the all the other stuff. They don't even make money on the cigarettes, I don't think, because they all say like state minimums or whatever.
Wow.
They're making money on you coming in there, I need a pack of cigarettes, and I need a Bic lighter, and I'm going to grab a Reese cup.
Right. Yeah, I was just thinking that could be like why do, I mean, that could essentially eliminate coffee shops. Maybe not Starbucks.
Right.
But, which might not be a good thing.
Well,
but
coffee clearly
I'm
isn't their loss leader because they're charging $8 for a cup.
Yeah, that's insane.
But if you do stuff consistently enough and it's enough, or it's quality enough, quality and consistency, you can charge $8 for a cup of coffee because people know exactly what they're going to get, and they're going to get the same thing every single time, and they're willing to pay the $8 to not chance not getting what they want for $4,
right,
or whatever. But yeah, so that's shot one. Is build out the marketing. So we're calling by the end of this week, we'll be at $5,000 in recurring revenue a month. And then by the end of next week, be at 10,000. Once that is done, we will figure out business one. What is the new business that we are doing? And now this does not mean shut down any of the existing businesses. This is just show how to not only build them, but also automate them so they can become just consistent streams of income that are never going to be passive. Like, people have this illusion of like, oh, I'm just going to build this passive business. It's like, well, you can, but it's never going to be what it could be if it's completely passive. And 2, you're never going to make what you probably could make. And 3, like, it takes time to get to actual passiveness. It takes some time. But we will show how to automate a lot of things to where you can have your hands in a lot of pots at the same time, but still be able to pull the strings and actually do it.
Basically build the bike so that you can ride it, I guess.
Yeah.
Because a lot of things, it seems like, just from my like observation, is you still have to, like, I don't even know if the bike is a good example, but you still have to manually do something for the thing to survive. Like, you have to beat your own heart.
Yeah, no, I think it's more like being in a rowboat or buying a motor for your boat.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Like,
Exactly.
rowboat, you're still freaking working to get the boat to go anywhere compared to throwing a motor on the back of that baby and enjoying your boat.
Yeah, and in both, maybe in the wooden boat where you're a rowboat and you're also got holes coming in the bottom.
Right.
And you got to splash out the water.
You're the only one, yeah.
But the goal is to get it to a metal raft with the
Don't got to worry
motor.
about holes. Yeah.
You got a fishing pole now.
Yeah, and that's...
Catching big doinks.
We know that we can do that. Like, that's a for sure. We know that the doinks. We know. Do you like the doinks?
What does a doink mean?
I don't know. There are some words too that is just like. And who's the first person that said it?
It's a cigar? Yeah, it's a smoke. I thought it was a big fish, a doink.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you smoking doinks? You never heard that?
That's a dart, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's a doink.
Oh.
Yeah. I've never heard that before. But yeah, no, so shot one, do that, marketing business, get the foundation. Shot two that I want to call is that I don't want to be absolute head in the clouds, because this is about being completely transparent, super real, like behind the scenes, everything. But I am telling you, we go hard at this for 12 months. I will bet just about anything that we are at minimum over 100,000 subscribers across all of our platforms. There is I'm telling you, that's shot two. I can be the only one calling that shot, but I'm telling you, only because I only know this. I was able to apply the internet to my life, and it changed my fucking life forever. I took Pace Morby and Jerry Norton from YouTube, put it in real life, and within 3 months had a new life. And then within 3 years had actual net worth that I thought it was going to take me 15, 20 years to get to. In 12 fucking months. 3 years. That like those time frames are like blinks of an eye. And it came from YouTube. It didn't come from like some $20,000 course or me chanting fucking stuff to myself in the mirror every day. Like it came from me literally taking knowledge from YouTube, applying it, figuring out what worked, figuring out what didn't work, changing up, finding new thing on YouTube. Okay, add that, and just doing it. And nobody is giving all of the steps. People are giving step 1, step 2, and people are giving step 9 and step 10.
Right.
Nobody's giving 1 through 10. If we can do that, it's not only like different and like cool content, it is the most potent shit that I can think of.
Right.
I don't know anything else that could be more potent for people's lives.
Well, I don't know what more you'd want if we do it right.
Yes. And we suck. Like, we know we suck at content right now. We suck at most things. But, like, we also understand that you suck at stuff until you do it, and you will do it enough that you don't suck at it. Because Alex Hormozy sucked at business at one point. Andy Elliott couldn't sell shit at one point. Steve Jobs didn't know how to code a single thing at one point in his life. So all we have to do is just do it, give it time. And I think that taking people along that journey, giving them the full, like, unadulterated insight to everything will be a game changer. And I think the idea of seeing what it does to other people and trying to get some documentation of that or see how it bleeds into our world,
Right.
that would be so cool.
Right.
So
I think
cool.
It would be. Shot 3 to wrap up? Or do we even have a shot 3 yet?
The only shot 3 that I can honestly even think of is I am fucking pumped to see what our lives look like in 3 years. I'm pumped to see what you and your skill set looks like, what Cassidy's skill set, Nicole, Dylan, mine, everybody in this building, what their skill sets in their lives look like in 3 years. Because I'm telling you, it's going to be different.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be different. One thing that we've been talking about is accountability, and like, I know I can already see it in my head, which means that we're halfway there, because getting to see it in your mind is like 50% of the battle. Once you can see it in your mind, then you can turn it into reality. If you can actually see it. And I told you guys the other day, like, I'm serious to the point that I'm about to tell my wife, I don't eat food unless you give it to me, because the inside motivation and the inside of the fucking racehorse that I know that I am doesn't match up to the chubby little fucking pony that I am. You know what I mean? And but I'm so serious, because that's what it will take to do what we're trying to do. Is we can't take it and half-ass apply it and then be like, it doesn't work.
Hey, there's your shot 3.
What?
You know what it is,
What?
pony. You got to turn it to a racehorse.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna be a stud, dude.
Okay.
Give me
shot 3.
Give me. Okay, here's the shot.
Okay.
By the end of 2024, I will be in the best shape that I've ever been in my entire life, and I will look like a different person. End of 2024.
All right.
And I think that we just had this discussion. I'm like, 2 weeks ago, I was like, what would you consider fit? Like, what do we say is fit?
Yeah.
And we were like, you think like 6-pack, whatever. And I'm like, but is fit that? Because like, I can run a long ass distance. I can lift pretty fucking heavy, I feel like. I can like endurance a lot of people, like with weights, whatever. Like, but you look at somebody like Spencer's got 6-pack, pretty fit. And I'm like, is that fit or am I fit? Well, we settled on like, yeah, I mean, like, that is kind of more fit if you can do those things. But that's kind of bullshit, because it's saying that you either have to have one or the other. You know what I mean? Like, no, what fit actually is being both. It's looking like
Yeah,
Spencer and working like me. Like,
I would agree.
To be able to work, it's Nick Bear. It is being able to run 100 miles and lift heavy as hell.
I don't think you realize how much you still have to gain as you lose weight. If that makes sense.
Yes.
Like, you might even be like, you might truck through 100 miles next time.
Dude,
you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying.
I might be able to lift twice as much with 40 pounds less weight on my body.
Maybe so.
Like
or
you might
jump
not
half
yeah.
a foot higher. Or
Who
something
knows?
Like that. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? But that is shot 3. Shot 3 is the fitness aspect of it, but it's the fact of like, I feel like we've been playing in the sandbox for the last year and a half, 2 years. It's like it's time to get serious as fuck and either take what we're saying and what's getting pumped to us, what the knowledge is that we're absorbing, and either use it 100% to know that if it's good or not use it, because we can't justify it to the people that are willing to watch this and listen to us and say, oh yeah, what Andy Elliott says, no, that's bullshit. We think this. If we don't actually do what he says,
Right.
we can't. Alex Hormozy says, do this with marketing, structure your offer this way, do that. We can't do it partial and be like, nah, he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
We literally have to absorb, live it. Here you go. Here's the results.
Right.
And I don't think I know. It's not even a question. You think Andy Elliott's got 19 dudes standing there in little baby shorts?
That was too much.
Little baby shorts and their little medium shirts for no reason.
They all need to open their eyes and like look around the room.
Yeah.
That was a little too much.
It is.
But I like where the heart's at.
Yes, it
a little bit at
is.
least.
But at the end of the day, you cannot argue with people being in amazing shape, being positive as hell, selling and working their ass off. Like,
That's true.
It's hard. It is hard to not defend it.
That's completely fair.
Yeah. And
The
we
hooting
don't.
and hollering as a tribe,
Yes.
though, that was a little.
There's a lot of the
much.
ways that he delivers what he talks about that you're just like, when he tells people, you're pretty ugly. It's some of the funniest content in the world. You're just like, who does this dude think he is? But then you look at the dude and you're like, you are pretty ugly. And you probably would be not as ugly fit.
That's how you have viral content right there.
Dude, but it's just the truth. And the more that I watch him, I realize that he probably just seen the truth works. It's not the most, like, you don't end up with the most friends.
Okay, so am
But
I
it
getting the
works.
camera and we're going outside and we're
works.
going to insult some people? Yeah. That's how we'll get to. Hey, you're pretty ugly. Hey,
You know how you could get better?
Yeah.
You want to be fat forever?
just tearing people
But
up.
it only works because he clearly did the same thing to himself. He
Yeah.
did that same thing
had the
to
same-
himself.
He had the same scrutiny.
Yes. Yep. He scrutinized himself in the
Very
same way.
scrupulous.
Yep. Yeah. He said he looked at how he was treating his wife. He looked at him being out of shape. He looked at the fact that he was making good money, but he was leaving a shit ton on the table. And he was like, fuck that. I'm changing it. Like, I got to change it. And he did. So I understand why when you see stuff work, it's hard to not treat it like it's gospel.
Right. Okay.
All right. Those are the shots.
Those are the shots.
Yeah, at least for now. So wrap up, building legacy, building businesses, building people, giving the behind the scenes look. You get to see the magic trick, and it's a lot of content. Like, we are going heavy just on not all high-end production, but just the behind the scenes, the quick little stuff, and then weekly updates with the whole team, where we're at, what we're thinking.
Yep.
And we want to give some high quality stuff that is actually purposeful.
Yep.
All right, let's do it.
Sign us out.
Deal. All right, guys. Well, that's it for this episode. And next week, count on us giving you another podcast where we wrap up what happened for the week, all the insights, all the thoughts, what's coming ahead, why we're doing what we're doing. And I'm telling you, this is a new version of building legacy that is about to blow people away.